Exercise Aurora 17, the largest Swedish exercise in over 20 years, took place on Gotland Island, Sweden. The US, Sweden, and 7 allied and partner nations came together to promote common regional security and test Sweden's defensive capabilities.
It's been great. Since we've got here, the Swedish military has rolled out the red carpet for us from in Carlsberg, which had about a week of cross-training between the two nations. Even in the field environment, what I realized most is there's not much difference between the two countries on the military-wise. We're more similar than we are apart.
Aurora 17 allows participants to learn to operate alongside each other on a strategic and tactical level, strengthening the security of the European theater.
Well, this is the biggest military exercise in over 20 years, so this is extremely important for the defense of Sweden and to train with our neighbors and our allies.
The exercise has been focused on the island of Gotland, where they have been training for amphibious and air assaults.
Anytime I can get out and train is my favorite part. You know, I like to see some of the misery on their faces as well. So it's good to see them get put in this type of environment. It's raining, it's cold, and see that our guys push through it. And I think I take the most joy out of that, to see them fight through that pain and still continue on.
It's a little bit hairy in the region right now, so we want to be ready and show the world that we can defend our own territory.
The first really large exercise that we have in Sweden since 1993. And almost 30% of the armed forces are involved. And then we have 2,000 foreigners and a lot of civilian agencies. So approximately a little bit more than 22,000 people are involved in the exercise.
The security signal at the same time as we upgrade our military capability, that we are ready to defend Sweden's territorial integrity, and we are ready to do it together also with friends and partners.
watching, everyone's laughing. I know they're talking about me, I'm the woman hunting. Everyone is scary, everyone is ugly. I know they're talking about me, I'm the woman hunting.
My name is Fredrik Månsson, Major. I'm the company commander of the Swedish mechanized company. I think that the US company commander and the forces have adapted a little bit to our techniques and have been a little bit quicker and more, a little bit more maneuver than yesterday. It's always great fun to fight against an opponent when you don't know what to expect. So a couple of times he has surprised me. Rather than that, we have tried to focus on our own scheme maneuver, our own way to fight. We haven't changed that from how we fight normally, and hopefully a couple of times we have surprised him as well. All the commanders, platoon leaders are down to soldiers level. I think that this exercise has been intensive and we have a lot of contact and good fights between the forces.
I'm Captain Lackman, the commander of Charlie Company, one of the 194 Armor out of East St. Paul. The battle went incredibly well from a technical, tactical aspect. We learned many different things. We applied different techniques, tried different things with different types of integrated combined arms efforts. Some of the surprises were definitely his ability to maneuver and make decisions very quickly. I was under the impression that he would stay and fight, but he was not. He was an adaptive leader. The beginning to the end, this experience was as close to actual war as we could get facing an enemy that we don't know their techniques, we don't know their tactics, we don't know their vehicle systems and capabilities. So the training levels here were elevated beyond anything that we could have ever achieved back in Minnesota.
And I am a part of the fire support team, and today I'm here cooperating with the 2nd Platoon and the battalion from the United States. It's really good. It's very interesting to see the way they work and compare it to how we work as an infantry, since we're pretty much doing the same thing, but we solve the problems in different ways, so it's really good for us.
We resupplied and got our stuff back out to the guys, and then when they started moving in, they pushed through a couple areas and started developing us around the sides. So it's kind of broken up everything that we've had so far that we had planned up. It's been a lot of trying to get guys into new positions and flank them, but it hasn't really been going our way.
We went for an ambush against the patrol, and then 3 tanks showed up, and we managed to shoot one out with my robot.
I think guys are learning a lot about how to be out in the field for longer periods of time and being away from the rallies. And dismounts definitely are figuring out what they need, what they don't need, and the weather here has definitely thrown us for a loop. It was warm at first with a little bit of rain, but even the nights now are pretty cold.
The Baltic Sea has a long history of being a strategic location on the globe. It provides access westward into the Atlantic Ocean, and all of the different players here on the Baltic coast want to be able to use the waterways.
Our role now is to re-establish a permanent military force here again. And that is everything from building the infrastructure, recruiting the force, training the force, command and control facilities and everything around that. So that is what we are working hard with right now.
We have annexation of Crimea, a war going on in Ukraine. We have pressure towards the Baltic states and we have a lot of activities in the Baltic Sea area. Now we're upgrading our military capability but also deepening the cooperation with other countries.
This is the Stockholm archipelago in the exercise Aurora, and there are thousands of islands, and they are along the sea lines to great harbors in Stockholm that are very important for us to control, to deny the enemy access to our harbor.
Despite there not being a NATO member, I think that's even more reason to partner with them and work with them so that we can start to build that common military language and just understanding of how each other operates.
Assault with the Swedish Army Force and their tanks and their CV-90s, which are like our Bradleys. It went pretty well, I think. We learned some stuff from the Swedes and how much they can move and how much they know their terrain and how good they are at their jobs. Our infantry units and dismounts went up first to try to get eyes on their tanks and their CV-90s and their armored personnel carriers.
Stand by, all three squads in combat.
We were sent out to react to contact. My squad moved out. We engaged 2 tanks with our AT-4s and then a CV-90. Then we moved towards the dismounts, trying to take out their dismounts until we finally were killed by one of their CV-90s.
Started off in the morning with some difficulties, and we had to adapt a little to and get used to again in practicing with the mechanized infantry company. We adapted and came over, and we got better. To be honest, I was a little bit nervous because usually you tend to know a little how the opponent will act. But now we knew nothing, and it's really the first time you see another kind of vehicles in the sights than our own. Really good experience.
Taking part in exercise Aurora had a great opportunity for us to face a mechanized unit, which is pretty rare for us, especially in countryside like we're in. Good realistic training that we're really not able to do too often back in the States. For operations like this, you really get to see the logistical side of the company come into play in a real-life situation. Everything becomes a little harder, like especially in an environment where it's spread out as we are, be able to coordinate with other adjacent units. We were doing more harassing attacks along the roads with those mechanized units that are coming down. The squad leaders did a great job whenever we came into contact. It was really their fight to run down at that level, but they took the initiative in a number of situations. A lot of decisions made down to the smallest level, and that was the biggest takeaway for us today.
airborne operations with the Swedish Army and the U.S. Army. We did it here in Sweden at one of their local drop zones, similar to our Fort Bragg back in the U.S.
It was just good to get some more jumps underneath their belts. You know, different locations, different landing zones, different types of shoot, because you never know like how or when we're going to have to jump.
Airborne operations are important to be able to get boots on the ground in all areas, especially the air. So we can get in at low altitudes. The Swedish jump a little lower than us, roughly 300 feet altitude. We normally come out at 500 wartime and 1,000 in training operations.
Swedish troops simulated an amphibious assault of Gotland Island, Sweden, facing off against Marines from Marine Rotational Force Europe, acting as adversaries during exercise Aurora 17. Marines were set up in defensive positions, attempting to delay the Swedish invasion.
It's benefited the Marines because it's given them a different look at how other countries train and operate, and has given them a different perspective on how to solve a problem. It's driven leadership to the smallest unit and given us a chance to really show faith in our small unit leaders.
And I promise, we'll try and get those killers.
We'll take care of any trouble. You see, I got a couple of Bogarts coming in from Frisco. Bogarts? What are Bogarts? Get down, 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 with the sound.
siis tonne metsän rantaan ja siitä suoraan tonne uralle.
Aurora 17.
Aurora 17.
You know, it's been really fun trading patches with them, getting to learn what their patches look like, what ours look like. You know, but also from just a person-to-person perspective, having that Minnesota to Sweden connection, where a lot of families in Minnesota now have had family lineage traced back to Sweden and Scandinavia area. It's nice to look around and say that the trees look very similar to back home on both sides.
It was nice to meet foreign units, and in the end of the day we are allies, so train together and get to know each other is great fun.
And I promise, we'll try and get those killers.
Take care of any trouble. Bogarts coming